Welcome engineers to Race of the Today's problem is the pre-season test for Championship 94. In this one I just went about trying to make a baseline setup through two different practice sessions and then just some wet practice in the final one, like they do in real life. If you want to check out the previous episode, there was a card in the top right corner where we finished a practice season. Spoilers in 3, 2, 1. We finished the season with about 9 wins, second in the championship, so we should do alright here because we are going to improve across the course of the season, and the races are longer so we can do more. If you do enjoy today's video, check out my channels, this one, Twitch, VODs, and behind the scenes. Let's get straight into it.
No idea how useful it's going to be. Let's try. We're going to try and use every single bit of knowledge that I have. So, why have I done this? I like a stable rear.
Okay, so I just want to remind you to keep an eye on your tyre usage. We're going to have to give 2 sets back at the end of this session, so they'll be unavailable for the rest of the weekend. We're going to hand over the 2 most worn sets, so don't ruin the tyres that you might want to use later.
Off-roll. I've heard it likes to rotate the car, so we're going to try and close it a bit. Front camber. You don't know.
The car settings screen on your multi-function display will allow you to change various settings as you drive. Open the display with the MFD button and you can then navigate up and down to the setting you want to change.
We don't want it as 0, do we? Do I? I don't know. We'll leave that for now. Ride height we want as low as possible.
You can carry much more speed through turns 7, 8 and 9 than you
I
might
swear some of
expect.
these hectors
Get
are
the
wrong.
turn into 7 right and you can really find a good rhythm through this section. It's just a slight lift going into the right-hander at 9. As for how much, that's a question of bravery. Be alert in case you dip a wheel into the gravel on the exit, as you'll need to save it.
Roll bar, so prevent roll. There's no way a soft roll bar is actually good. I'm sure that'll be fine. And we'll work out the tyre wear stuff later.
So with our baseline setup, we went out with 5 kilos. It's not good enough.
199.5 miles per hour.
So we are quick. Outproof turning. So we don't want to change too much in one go. I'll say we'll choose 2 sets of parameters to change.
So I went again with 5 kilos. So I came back in.
To perform better, we want the rears to be less worn than the fronts, purely because of how badly I drive the rears. So yeah, change 2 areas.
This time I did enough to do 4 full laps. 16.2 on the first lap and a 16.0 on the second lap.
Rear does more to the straight line speed. So if we do that, 4 straight line speed, then we go over here.
Okay, so we're top of the speed trap, 199.5 miles per hour.
Oh, toe out. We don't want to change that because toe out. Larger turning response to this expensive front stability. We're alright with front stability at the moment.
On the second setup we did a 16.4 and a 15.9, so it's better than the first round.
So increase the grip again. Maybe something with the...
So our fastest lap is a 1:15.9.
Yeah, I don't think we need to touch the suspension. Ride height, I'm definitely not touching. At least I don't think I need to. I think it's got to be geometry.
To view information on your current levels of tyre wear and damage, press the MFD button to open the multifunction display, and then again to cycle to the tyres and the damage screen.
I'm thinking maybe a stiffer roll bar.
Okay, so we're top of the speed trap, 203.8 miles per hour.
In the third setup we did a 17.8, there was a little mistake in this lap I believe, and a 16.9, so we went the wrong way with the setup.
I don't think the roll bars work.
15.9.
The roll bar does not seem to have worked. Stiff roll bars. Oh, maybe that makes sense. So if we go 14, go the other side of 14. And then what else do we change? Change geometry. I mean, it's quite stable, so we're fine with that. Lateral grip.
Okay, so we're top of the speed trap, 203.8 miles per hour.
What will happen if I do that?
17.2, once again a mistake, and a 17.3, so definitely the wrong way with setup here.
More easily at Monaco, but now I realise
Okay,
it's
so
everywhere.
far our fastest lap is a 1:15.9.
I've not got front instability, so I don't need to change that.
To view your current tyre, brake and engine temperatures, press the MFD button to open the multifunction display, and then press it again to cycle through until you reach the temperature information screen.
Longitudinal traction. Yeah, so I think that's why.
And then with the 6th setup, we did a 16.9. Oh, whoops.
Right, it's the hards and mediums. We'll try and get setup done in the 2 hours then, and then we can use medium and hards for the end of session. 1.9.
Our best lap so far is a 1 minute 15.9.
And then I believe for my final run, we did a 15.3 and a 15.3. So it's the best setup we've had so far because they're both 15.3s.
So I think that's fine for this. See what effect that has. I'm assuming it's going to reduce front grip. So if we increase the front roll bar, that's going to reduce how much it
and we're second
rolls.
in the speed trap, 203.
Never mind, we got one more run in before the hour was up and we had to move to practice 2. 16.8 and a 15.7 up, I think that says. In the end, 13th overall. It's not a bad run, especially since I'm making setup.
Not really had the intended effect.
On the first run in the new session, we did a 14.8 and a 15.4. I didn't change the setup in this one, I don't think, because obviously it's a new session, we need a new baseline.
Current strategy and race objectives, press the MFD button to open the multifunction display, and then press it again to cycle through until you reach the strategy and objectives screen.
Tyre wear seems a bit high. Am I the... No, I'm not the only one. I thought I wasn't.
Okay, our best lap so far is a 1 minute 0.8.
Put it in the middle. Increasing dispatch instability but reducing responsiveness. Let's see what that...
In the second run, we did a 15.2 and a 15.2, so a little bit worse than the first run.
So our fastest lap is a 1.8.
In the third run, we did a 15.5 and a 15.5, so two 15.5s, once again, backpedaling.
Your drag reduction system, or DRS, allows you to gain speed on certain straights. We call these areas the DRS zones. You can use your DRS in these areas at will during practice and qualifying, but in the race, DRS is only available if you're within 1 second of the car in front. The bar at the bottom of your MFD will fill up as you approach the DRS zone, and once it starts flashing, press the DRS button to activate.
And once again, we backpedal even more with a 16.3 and a 15.8.
We'll go one more. See what that does.
So far, our fastest lap is a 1 minute, 0.8.
Can we finally make a setup that works? No, 17.4 on the first lap and a 16.2 on the second lap, although I think there must have been a mistake on that first lap.
Okay, so far our fastest lap is a 1.8.
No, I want it like that. Pivot the car.
And we're second in the speed trap, 203.6 miles per hour.
Fifth softer suspension. Let's see what that does.
And then we did a 14.8 for the first time in a long while, and a 15.1. A little bit better of a setup.
Our best lap so far is a 1 minute, 0.8.
Okay, how do I give myself some extra speed?
Okay, so we're third in the speed trap, 203.6 miles per hour.
I don't think that's gonna help. Let's try that. Let's see what that does.
And then we go back to the 16s, doing a 16.5 and a 15.8 or 0, one of the two.
He's finding something in the middle sector. Straight line speed is good. We go for something with the geometry or suspension. Try and change that around, and then let's see what effect increasing the rear.
And then we did a 15 or 16.1 and then a 16.0. Not that good. So if you can't tell, I'm not that experienced with making setups. 16.6 and a 16.9 to finish the session. In the end, that put us P9 with the best lap of 14.8, pretty much at the beginning of the session.
Let's see how the setup fares in the wet. Yeah. 5 runs, 20. Increase it to 25 just to be safe.
So in this session I just did multiple laps in the wet. I wasn't going to make a setup entirely for the wet, so I just did multiple laps. And you can see 29.7, 29.4, pretty consistent, all within the 29s, which is pretty good. 29.9, 5 tenths on the previous lap. A 30.1, not using that much ERS as well, although that was a little bit slow. 31.9, getting slower. 27.8, that's the best lap I had so far. And then back to 29.7s, and then 29.1 for lap 17. Lap 18 we did a 28.7, then a 28.1, and then a 29.6, and we're going to come in for more fuel.
With conditions as they are, I'd suggest you take a set of full wets. So our fastest lap is a 1:28.8.
That's actually pretty consistent. Also don't seem to be too bad.
I don't know how, but I just noticed I missed a bunch of laps in the previous run. Really don't know how. And I can't be able to go back and edit them. Anyway, we only got 3 laps done after making contact with the wall, so we had to come in for damage repairs.
We've had to spend time repairing the damage to the car. Okay, recommend taking wet tyres in the current conditions. So far, our fastest lap is a 1:27.8.
Yeah, that'll be enough to finish the session.
Okay, the circuit's clear at the moment. We're good to go.
I'm just so much quicker in the final sector, it's really weird. Let's see how that goes.
And I'm going to show you this little clip, purely because this is where my session ends. So I want you to guess what happens. So we go back out on the same set or new set of wets. I really wasn't paying attention. And P3 at the moment with 23 laps under my belt. 22, sorry. I thought it was 23. Anywho, out of the pit lane through turn 1, taking it nice and easy. Turn 2, a little bit of a wobble. Turn 3, big wobble, and all the way into the gravel trap. Nowhere near hitting the wall, so we reverse. But unfortunately, if you reverse for too long, you get disqualified.
Oh, I've been disqualified.
So, am I not allowed to reverse? No, not for too long. If you do it for too long, you get disqualified. I thought it was only if you did it on circuit, but I guess the game can't be bothered to distinguish between that. But anyway, that is that for today. Just going to save the 2 setups, and then we can get ready for the first race of the season in Australia. See if we can win it this time. I sorted out the system where my controller turned off, so that won't ever happen again. Let's go start the season with a bang.
I'm going to confuse people when I see that.
Enjoy the rest of your days. Day. Bye.